Friends, today with us, Hiram Tilak is there. We are at Tapavankuti Uttarkashi in Uttarakhand, India. And I met Hiram over here. So Hiram born and brought up in India and then switched to New Jersey where he is working over there. So let's had a word with the Hiram how he find the life in India and in New Jersey. Yeah, Hiram, please share.
Okay. So being born and brought up in India, I was exposed to many different things, which
You're
are.
born where?
I'm born in Aurangabad, which
Okay.
is now called Sambhajinagar,
Mm-hmm.
and I grew up in Thane, in Maharashtra.
Okay.
Now my family.
It's near Mumbai.
I-
Thane is
which
near Mumbai.
Mumbai.
Yeah.
My family stays there,
Hmm.
and after my undergraduate studies, I went to Boston in USA for my master's in energy systems. So the biggest difference in my life experience over here versus in US is that since my family is here, I feel easierly connected to them in India when I'm over here. Whereas over
Okay. Then.
so in US, the biggest difference is that you are by yourself. You have to do everything by yourself. So even if anybody tries to deny it, the truth is that there is some sense of loneliness, a lot of pressure from having to work long hours, which can lead to stress at times. This varies from person to person, but this has been my experience that since you have to do everything by yourself, there is some amount of
Emotional
stress.
vacuum. Emotional
Stress,
vacuum.
Emotional vacuum, to some extent depression, but not exactly the clinical depression that is seen, but that lack of connectedness is there with
But
our.
despite having lots of material comfort, you feel there's something lacking, some emotional vacuum and other pamperingness. You mean to say?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in US, the level of comfort, at least when I went, was much higher than compared in India. There's more, a better standard of living over there. But even with that, there was some sense of emptiness. There was something that was missing in my life, and that is what I felt immediately after I went there. And I did have that thought of there's something that is in India which I missed all my life, but I should explore.
So, how you got connected with Chinmaya Mission over there?
Sure. So initially I was in Boston. 2 years ago I moved to New Jersey, and that is where I was curious to be connected with something, a community that will give me a sense of connectedness to my own motherland, to Bharat Bhumi.
Okay.
And one fine day during Gita Jayanti, I just googled where can I find a place where they're doing Sampurna Gita Parayan or Sampurna Gita chanting.
Okay.
So
In
that's
New
when-
Jersey.
In New Jersey.
Okay.
At that time, I found that the Chinmaya Vrindavan Ashram in New Jersey has that event. So I went there, and that is when somebody told me that since you're living so close to New York City, get connected with Brahmacharini Shubhani Chaitanya ji. And Shubhani ji is a Vedantic teacher and spiritual guide for us at the New York Center, who is in Chinmaya Mission. So that is how I got my first connection or first contact with Chinmaya Mission outside of India. which
Okay.
was even
So you
6
never
years-
been connected with Chinmaya Mission in India?
I was aware that there is an organization named Chinmaya Mission, but
Never
I did
landed.
not go to any of their events. I
That's
wasn't
so
aware.
so interesting.
active
So
it is.
interesting.
So after I got connected with Shubhani ji, then I started joining CHIK classes. CHIK stands for Chinmaya Yuva Kendra, which is for the age group of 18 to 28. So it's geared towards the youth and making sure that their problems are heard. They can focus on having a work-life balance, things like that, which are relevant to the youth. So I started joining those classes, which are led by Brahmacharya Shubhani ji, and they are very grounding. On a weekly basis, it is hybrid, so you can attend either in person or online if you are in and around New York City. So that led to one thing led to another, and I started attending different Chinmaya Mission events. I did visit the Krishnalaya Ashram, which is in Piercy, California. If anybody is around that area, I would
Do
highly
visit.
insist that
Okay.
you should visit that ashram. And after that, I just kept on, continuing my engagement with the mission. It is said that it is Chinmaya Parivar. I actually felt that it is my Parivar. At every event, I never felt like I'm an outsider.
Mm-hmm.
I was immediately welcomed, and it literally felt very close to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
One example that I share many times
Mm-hmm.
is that during COVID, there was a sense of loneliness because
Mhm.
I was at that time I was initially in Boston,
Mm-hmm.
and I was I wasn't able to reach out to my friends, meet them. I was just cooped up, just like many of us. So loneliness
Okay.
was a real issue that I was facing at that time. And whenever I thought of my parents, it made me sad. Because I was missing them, and I felt that they are far away.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 years later, when I have the thought of my parents,
Mm-hmm.
I feel connected to them and I feel happy because in the thought they are with me. So I
Okay.
don't feel any disconnect. And I feel like this is because of all the satsang and regular classes that I've been attending at Chinmaya Mission.
Okay, so it helped you in many ways. Like what I understand, it's an emotional way, and you felt like a family. There is a family around with you, and you are learning new knowledge system. As they say, Vedanta is a way of life. It's give you the knowledge system. So, can in one line you can define how does this Vedanta knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and other texts help you to look at in a different way to this life?
Sure. So, from my understanding, Vedanta or study of Bhagavad Gita gives you a very holistic picture of what life is, how your mind functions, how your intellect functions. So, as Puja Gurudev mentions, this BMI, the body, mind, intellect, these are the instruments that are in our hands. If we don't study how they function, how are we going to be living this world?
You mean
living
to
in
say that
this
you
world?
get a guide or a manual to look at the life and how to operate your life, if I'm correct in understanding?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, Hiram. It's so nice and wonderful to talk to you. May our youth around the world get a lesson that although being in a materialistic country is strange, you got connected to Vedanta, not in India, where we are easily available to this knowledge. Thank you. This is Madhvi Shri from Uttarkashi, Uttarakhand, Chinmaya Mission.